What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Nehemiah, aka Neo, and today we're going to be talking about more specifically this game, but I think I'm probably going to talk a little bit about Paulo. Actually, I wasn't able to talk about him in the last video, but I am going to talk about him actually right now, honestly. But yeah, this dude, he posted up the best stats since LeBron James in terms of rookie debut. And if you don't believe me, bro, we just got to go to StatMuse. Yep, first rookie debut, 25, 5, 5. Easy. And it's not just that he's just a 1-1 player either. He does it on both ends. Jaden Ivey also, really solid player. He was able to essentially win the game for the Pistons, and they were actually able to come back from a major deficit that I didn't even think that they could come back from. So that's really cool. Also, shout out my boy Jalen Suggs. He should have a bounce back season this year. He didn't have the best season last year. There was a lot of circumstances, injury, and when he was on the court, he didn't shoot the best. But I do think that he's going to be solid. And Franz Wagner, buy his stock. Just buy the stock. Don't do anything else but buy the stock. Also, I'm not sure if he's still on the... Oh, Mo Bamba is on the team. Mo Bamba should be... Bro, nah. You know what? I'm not even going to talk about that. Bojan Bogdanovic did pretty well. Shot a lot of threes. Made him. That's what you really want to see from him. And I think that's pretty much it for this game. I only watched the first quarter, but I'm pretty sure that this was actually a pretty good game. I really liked it. At least when I was watching it. Again, these guys were just dominating on the offensive end when I was watching it, but they choked the lead. And there's not really much I can say about that. But I think that these guys, Franz Wagner and Paulo, are probably going to be a dominant duo in the near future. And if Jalen Suggs is able to produce something like this somewhat consistently, boo, these guys are just going to be them. I'm going to be talking about the Brooklyn Nets more specifically, and it's not for good reason. We got triple single out here, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I'm going to be a little bit more ruthless when it comes to this team in specific because this is a contender, in my opinion. Or at least I wouldn't have considered them a contender going into this year. I'm kind of iffy on this now. And yes, I don't want to overreact because it's just the first game of the season. They still need to work the kinks out. Ben Simmons still needs to find a comfortable place in the offense for him to operate. But, bro, it is insane about like his overall position in this system. So one of my biggest problems with Ben Simmons isn't necessarily that he cannot be a ball handler. That's not my problem. It's more so when it comes to this. Yes, he can kind of handle the ball, but what you really want is a guy who's able to provide pressure with the defense. This is why I'm always talking about rim pressure. This is why I always think about, oh, can this guy make a shot off the dribble? Now, I'm not saying that necessarily you need those skills. We have a guy like Giannis dominating the league. You have a guy like Giannis, who I think is the best player in the league. And even a guy like Zion Williamson, who's not necessarily the guy who's going to beat you off the dribble. He's just going to pound you in the rim. Pause. And I just think that that's the type of mentality that Ben Simmons does lack. He just isn't able to necessarily provide the rim pressure that those guys do. Even if he is one of the best finishers in the NBA, he's still not able to provide rim pressure. So what happens right here is that everyone right here collapses on KD. Like, first off, the lane is already clogged right now. Claxton and Ben Simmons should not share the floor together at all. It makes no sense how these two are right now trying to go into the lane while Kevin Durant has the ball trying to go to the lane, trying to finish in the rim. Makes no sense. So now there's 3 defenders collapsing on him, and KD has to pass it out at this point. But at this point, Zion kind of understands what's happening right now. So is Larry Nance Jr., and I'm pretty sure that's Herb. Both really good defenders. So they are able to make the read, steal the ball. Plain and simple. Not only that, but this isn't one of the only plays that this happens. This happens pretty consistently, but some of these turnovers are simply unacceptable when it comes to this. And it mostly just feeds off of Ben Simmons. All right, so this was the play that I was actually looking for. So right now we have a Kyrie Irving, Ben Simmons pick and roll. Now they both actually chase after Kyrie, but there's one big problem with this. We all know where Ben Simmons is going, and it's not the problem that he's not going to spot up. That's not the problem. The problem really lies within these two. Once a big center like Jonas is able to make the read, he's going to pass it out because Kyrie Irving probably won't be able to make a really good shot or a really good decision with 2B on his hip. Bro's just gonna come over, and CJ McCollum is already recovering at this point. Like, not only that, but bro just fumbles the ball too. Like, bro, are you serious? It really just doesn't come off as whole. It really doesn't come off as really expecting that pass. And I don't even, it looked like he was even going to go for the shot. And I understand why people are frustrated with Ben Simmons. He just doesn't really have the best mentality when it comes to scoring. So I think that that's one thing to really look at with Ben Simmons. Not only that, but when you're only providing 5 assists on this team, a team that's not really the most assist heavy, and that's offense really doesn't flow the best, especially in this game. It really didn't flow. As we see with Kyrie Irving's 19 shooting, only making 6 of them, never making it 3. Kevin Durant was just doing heavy backpacking along with Nicholas Claxton and Royce O'Neal on the offensive end. Yes, they are out of a few rotation players. They don't have Seth Curry. They don't have Joe Harris. They don't have one more player. I forgot who it was, but they also don't have him. Let me just look him up. But that doesn't stop the point that the Brooklyn Nets right now are lacking in defense despite having Ben Simmons. They are lacking in playmaking despite having Ben Simmons. And only time will tell, but I think that as time is going to start growing, this Brooklyn Nets team is probably going to have the same roster construction problems that what are they called? The Lakers do. But the Lakers are worse by far. And TJ Warren. I forgot. But these guys at least do have the talent to actually make up for it. I think that the Lakers do have the talent, but the thing is their fit is so bad that it just doesn't work out. Now, in terms of the shots, this is where we go with the Pelicans. Also, one thing about this that I'm going to be talking about is I'm going to be switching more to the Pelican side now. And I want to talk about how they are one of the most effortless teams on offense. These guys are about to put some of your favorite teams on their grave. And, it's not normal to see everyone getting 2+ assists. This is not normal. This isn't normal. Let's just pull up some of these plays, and you're going to see how this team's offense is just going to dominate this regular season. Now, the key to the game is ball movement. We see with the Golden State Warriors that ball movement and player movement were able to just create some of the most dynamic offenses that you'll ever see that'll make defenders just get on their toes no matter what. And this is what we're going to see here. The ball is just swinging. Brandon Ingram is able to create his shot even with a guy like Kevin Durant on him. Also, he was making Kevin Durant look like a baby this game. But he's able to create his shot, able to collapse the defense a little bit. This is where Zion cutting makes a really big difference. And the difference between right now with Zion Williamson and Jonas Valanciunas between them and Nicholas Claxton and Ben Simmons is that Ben Simmons just doesn't really have the offensive impact that a guy like Zion does. So it just leads to a lot of collapsation. Not only that, but this is just bad defense. There should not be 3 people on Brandon Ingram, especially when Zion Williamson is just out there cutting. So he just cuts there. And, this is probably going to be not the best shot because 2 people are going to contest him. And this is where he finds Jonas Valanciunas. Boom, easy dunk. Under the rim, nothing to be found. Same thing with this play, the same play or the play after that, where we just have a guy like CJ McCollum at least creating a little bit of space. Not the best, but we have a guy like Brandon Ingram who's able to kind of make everyone just ball watch him. I think that this is Royce O'Neal. I could be wrong, but he gets caught ball watching a little bit, especially when we have 4 people in the paint where Brandon Ingram just kind of sees where he really wants the ball, and we see a guy like Herb Jones being open. Yes, Jonas Valanciunas is indeed a threat. Kyrie Irving being on Jonas Valanciunas is a mismatch. But Herb Jones is still open. And Brandon Ingram is still taking the leap right now. And he's able to at least find him on the perimeter. This isn't necessarily a play that I want to talk about, but we just need to appreciate Brandon Ingram for taking this leap for this offensive creation. Like, damn, hit in your face. He's doing this all game, by the way. This is also another situation where the defense of the Brooklyn Nets just kind of collapsed. They just didn't have enough communication going on. A guy like CJ McCollum already just being in the paint at this point. Kyrie cannot do anything. Nicholas Claxton, of course, has to slide down. I think that this is where I would say Ben Simmons probably should slide a little bit because at this point, Zion was probably just going to be wide open at this point. And I think that even though Kevin Durant would have to cover these two, I think that they're probably just gonna go Brandon Ingram, so he should probably just die on the hill. And this is where Zion is just gonna come in, boom, boom. And the name of the game is player movement. Even though Jonas Valanciunas has bro where he wants to, this is where Herb Jones is just kind of getting the better up on this player, and he's just cutting. Yes, there's people in the lane right now, but they're not going to go off of. I think that this is. I completely forgot his name, but Jose Alvarado. I think that's his name. Yep. Even though he's just not gonna pin off of him, and boom, you just get the open bucket. The utilization of the dunker spot in this whole game for the New Orleans Pelicans was something special because, man, these guys are just always opening the spot. These guys are always just creating so much offense, even if it's just a guy like Jonas Valanciunas, a guy like Zion Williamson, or even much less so, a guy like Larry Nance, who is able to at least post some numbers because they just have a lot of open opportunities when it comes to the dunker spot with a lot of the rim pressure that they're creating. So it's really cool to see, Zion just being back like this. And lastly, just some more BI appreciation. We have a guy like CJ McCollum where we're just sending down the print down screen, but boom, like he's just him. BI may take the leap years this year, man, and if he does, this New Orleans Pelicans team will be dangerous. So let's just check out a little bit more things from the other NBA teams that I didn't talk about yet. Shout out my dog Tyrese Halliburton. He's putting up good numbers, man. And I understand that people are going to look at the Sacramento Kings trade and be like, oh, they should have kept him. That just didn't fit well. Him and De'Aaron Fox. We already seen De'Aaron Fox stats, but this dude is also a really good player, and we should never sleep on him. I think that he is going to be one of the franchise players for this team. Even if he doesn't necessarily have to be an all-NBA player, he's still just going to be him. Now, this game fooled me. I thought the Dallas Mavericks were going to win this kind of handedly. This shit was looking like game 8. It looked like Luka just unpaused the ass whooping, bro. But I guess not. Jason Kidd should be fired, by the way. I don't care. This dude, Christian Wood, playing less than 25 minutes is absurd. Absurd. I don't understand that having a guy like Christian Wood off the bench does provide a little bit of a spark plug. But, bro, let's just be real here. Christian Wood's probably the second best player on this team right now. If not, it's him or Spencer Dinwiddie. But honestly, at this point, I think that Christian Wood is probably going to be an all-star level player because it looks like Luka's just bringing out the best of him. And even then, he's still just him. Let's just look at his last three-point make, bro. Like, I think we've all seen this. In fact, I'm pretty sure we've all seen this. Oh, no, not this one. Hold on. It's this one. We've all seen this, bro. Like, bro calls bank of Christian Wood. Like, what do you want me to say, bro? Like, he's just out there being Timothy. And I think that Christian Wood is definitely a really good spark engine for the offense, especially as a big man, bro. Like, this is the type of big man that you want to see in today's league. What's there not to like about him? But I think overall, this was not a strong Chris Paul game. I don't think that this is necessarily indicating that he's going to have a decline year. I do think he's still going to, but this isn't the biggest indicator. To be it for me. I'm pretty sure I just covered every single NBA game this day. I'm going to upload these in separate parts. And yeah, this could be Nehemiah, aka Neo, and I hope you guys are having a great one. Let me know how you guys are feeling about the NBA so far. I'm going to be doing a series called NBA Weekly Takeaways. And it's going to just be me talking about, my things or my opinions on some of these teams, how they've changed a little bit. It's going to be podcast-ish, but the thing is, it's going to be 15 minutes. And if I'm ever verified within the season, it's definitely going to be longer. It's probably going to be more so 30, 40, 50 minutes because it's just going to be a lot of opinions. A lot of people that I'm going to be high on, people that I'm going to be low on. And overall, just kind of NBA stock-ish, if you guys understand what that is. So, yeah.